When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line.
I can taste with the heart of a lion.
When victory alone isn't enough, you chase something greater, no matter how difficult the path. On the dirt, in the sand, and beyond. The new 2024 Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda.
I'd like to call the meeting of the Terrebonne Parish Council of Wednesday, September 25th, 2024 to order. We'll have the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Steve Trosclair. Please rise.
Loving and gracious God, help us to keep the common good before us. Strengthen our gifts of wisdom, courage, and respect for the views of others. Strengthen us to continue to work with our leaders, seeking an ever more just society that acts in harmony and interdependence with all creation. In the name of Jesus, in union with your spirit, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Smith, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Trusclair, Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity, Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner, Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to first just welcome our Nichols nursing students up to my left. We always welcome them. I always say, welcome to the circus. For those who don't normally come or watch our meetings, they can be uneventful and boring, and sometimes they can be a little exciting. So, all right, the council convenes as a board of review to consider written appeals to the tax assessments as presented by the Terrebonne Parish Assessor. There he is.
Hello. Lonnie Grabert, Terrebonne Parish Assessor. For tax year 2024, we have no appeals. Next week, we will balance the roll and submit to the Tax Commission. Second week, hopefully we'll get approved the second week of October. And notices normally go out second week in November. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Grabert. I need a motion. All right, so we have a motion to accept the report by Mr. Grabert, by Mr. Trosclair, seconded by Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Approve the minutes of the special council session, public hearings for 2024 millage rates held on August 28, 2024. Move, Mr. Harding.
Second.
Second, Mr. Hamner. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Ms. Smith, let the records reflect that Mr. Harding has entered the meeting so he can be counted. Approve the minutes of the regular council session held on August 28, 2024. Move, Ms. Chauvin.
Second.
Second, Mr. Hamner. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Approve accounts payable bill list for 9/16/2024 and 9/23/2024.
Move.
Move, Mr. Pleasure. Second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Approve the manual check listing for August 2024.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Pleasure.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hamner. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carries. Item 1, general business. A, commending Captain Lonnie Lusco for his 33 years of service to the Houma Police Department. Mr. Danny Babin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's with pleasure I'll read this. 33 years, that's a pretty long time, okay? And I'm not going to say Lonnie Grabert, I'm going to say Lonnie Lusco. Whereas Lonnie Lusco is retiring after 33 years of dedicated service as a captain of the Houma Police Department for Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, And whereas Captain Lusco began his employment with the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government on September 15th, 1991, and whereas Captain Lusco's service to the parish was marked by his selflessness and dedication to his duties that included being a dedicated police officer, supervisor of car patrol, detective, narcotics officer, sergeant in charge of crime scenes, evidence custodian, chief of detectives, and administrative captain. And whereas Captain Lusco will be fondly remembered for his excellence in leadership, his personal demeanor, and for the enthusiastic pride he took in all of his endeavors at the parish, now therefore be it resolved by the Terrebonne Parish Council, on behalf of Parish President and the entire Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, that the extraordinary service of Captain Lonnie Lusco is hereby publicly acknowledged to the people of the Houma Terrebonne community, and that he has extended the sincere best wishes for his future. Presented this 25th day of September 2024, signed by Parish President Jason Bergeron, Council Chairman John Amade, and endorsed by the entire council.
Go ahead, Captain.
Lonnie Lusco, 500 Honduras Street, Houma, Louisiana. I'd like to give thanks to where it belongs. Thank God for being with me in every step of my career. I'd like to thank my family for excusing me during the absences of many special events that we missed out in our family times and during the times of emergency when I couldn't be with them. I'd like to give thanks to my law enforcement family with the Houma Police Department, but also the brothers and sisters from all the other departments and agencies. Thanks also to the many parish administrations, councils, and employees that supported us every day. And lastly, thanks to all the citizens of our community for allowing me to protect and serve for those 33 years. Society and law enforcement has gone through many major changes at the start of my career in 1991. It is my hope that both continue to work hand in hand and continue to move forward. It's also my hope that in a few years to come, I'll once again be part of that process. As long as God is willing, my family supports me, and the citizens support me, I can't lose. Thank you, and God bless.
Lonnie, come on back up. Now the roast begins, okay?
I thought I was going to get away with it.
Yeah, no. Lonnie, thank you so much for your 33 years. You've done a lot for this community. You've led a lot of young officers in the right direction, and this community is better off because of people like you. And I know that you're not going to stop doing what you're doing. So whatever your future lies, you have my support for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lonnie.
President Bergeron?
Yeah, at first I had to see if that was actually the Lonnie Lusco y'all were talking about, the same one I've been knowing for a long time. So I couldn't let him get away without hearing that. But thank him for his years of service and wish you luck in all your future endeavors. And I know whatever you do, you'll do well with. So thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Champagne?
Yeah, I also want to thank you for your service and your time, and hopefully you continue to come to breakfast on Saturdays if your wife lets you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Captain. Have a good retirement.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. You're in good hands.
Item B is a proclamation proclaiming the month of October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the day of Thursday, October 3rd, 2024 as Paint the Parish Purple Day in Terrebonne Parish. Councilman Champagne?
Bear with me, I forgot my cheaters. So Actually, I would take them.
Give you mine, but they're probably worse.
There you go.
Oh, you want a guys?
Yeah.
I get you.
Appreciate that.
He doesn't want to look too girly.
All right. So, a proclamation, City of Houma, Louisiana, Parish of Terrebonne. Whereas Louisiana has ranked at least 5th in the nation in the homicide rate among female victims killed by male offenders in single offender incidents over the past 10 years. And whereas in a study of domestic violence homicides, it was found that 20% of victims were not the intimate partner themselves, but family members, friends, neighbors, persons who intervened, law enforcement, or bystanders. And whereas domestic violence is a profound and pervasive issue affecting hundreds of individuals and families across Terrebonne Parish with far-reaching consequences for health, safety, and well-being. And whereas domestic violence transcends all boundaries of age, race, gender, socioeconomic status, and geographical location, impacting people from all walks of life. And whereas the effects of domestic violence extend beyond the immediate victims, inflicting harm on children, families, and entire communities, and placing a significant burden on societal resources. And whereas raising awareness about domestic violence is crucial to preventing and addressing this issue, providing support to survivors, and holding perpetrators accountable. And whereas the Haven and other dedicated organizations, advocates, and individuals work tirelessly to provide support services, raise awareness, and promote education on domestic violence, striving to create a safer, more peaceful society. And whereas we recognize the importance of promoting prevention strategies, improving access to resources for victims, and fostering a culture of respect, empathy, and accountability. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Terrebonne Parish Council, on behalf of the parish president and the entire parish consolidated government, hereby proclaims the month of October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And it be further resolved that Thursday, October 3rd, 2024, be proclaimed as Paint the Parish Purple Day, and that all citizens be urged to wear purple to show their support in the work to end domestic violence, to speak out against domestic violence, and to support these local efforts to assist victims of these crimes in finding the help and healing they need. Presented this 25th day of September 2024, Parish President Jason Bergeron, Council Chair John Amity, and the entire Parish Council.
We have someone here to receive this? That's why we keep firemen in the room, folks. Y'all don't need to be too concerned.
And the chief is the last one to do that. Like, oh, they got it.
Travis is in every picture. I am. I want to be police. Good. I could be a baby.
Good evening. I'm Julie Pallegrin, the Executive Director of the Haven, 108 Hawthorne Drive in Houma. Thank you to Parish President Bergeron, all the members of the council for taking the time tonight to recognize October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. One only has to look at the recent headlines to understand the importance of the services the Haven provides and the extreme importance of making sure we make our community aware of those services and the reality of domestic violence in our community. So we appreciate your support. And we have enjoyed a partnership with you guys for a very long time, and you help us to make our community safer, so thank you.
Hang on just a moment. Mr. Champagne, you have anything more to say? Any other council members? Mr. Pleasure?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just would like to thank the Haven for all the work that they've done over the years. because, I mean, we really, folks in general just should take a real hard look at domestic violence. It's something that it can be happening and we not even pay attention to it. I'd just like to share, I'm a survivor or still surviving a case in my family with that. Nobody wants to talk about it, but I'll share my quick story. My brother, he succumbed to domestic violence where he killed his wife, okay? They had 2 children, 2 beautiful children. They went and lived with their godmother. Their godmother was killed by her husband. She was in the house with them, and they left them 2 girls on the side of the road. But I'm sharing that to share it can happen to any of us. It can happen to any of us, and we really should take a hard look at it. And if you think you see signs of it, say something. I mean, our parish administration says it all the time where they share, if you see something, say something. That's one of those things as well, because everybody matters. But thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pleasure. And I guess from the whole community, I mean, we want to thank you guys for doing the things that you do. I mean, without groups and organizations like yourself, these people are just out there and they have no hope. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Item C, Ms. Cherie Rogers, 4-H Extension Agent and Terrebonne Parish 4-H Chair, wishes to give the council a 4-H update and recognize the state level contest winners.
Cherie Roger, 354 Bayou Blue Road, Houma, Louisiana. I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity to recognize these Terrebonne Parish 4-H members tonight. Terrebonne 4-H is open to all 4th through 12th grade members in Terrebonne Parish. We have about 750 youth in our program. We're climbing since COVID. My coworker Reed and I visit monthly meetings at the different schools. We have about 34 club meetings that we attend each month. And we just came from the officer training where the kids were learning how to do their roles as their officer responsibilities. 4-H includes everyone. What I mean by that is that we have projects that has an interest for everyone. We have project focuses for everyone. And tonight we're recognizing our Horse Project and our 4-H University winners. So these horse equine members don't get recognized too much because they take their project takes place during the summer when it's really, really hot. Right, girls? Really, really, really hot. And school's out, so they don't get that recognition, but they work all year long for district, state, and hopefully going to regionals. And y'all will recognize them in just a bit. And then our 4-H University students, they work with us on the parish level to prepare for these contests. Private school and public school kids work together to hopefully win a contest. It's great to see their teamwork and their efforts and their winnings. So I'll let y'all start with the names.
And I think I know how to pronounce all these names except the first one. So if I slaughter it, so be it. Now, some of the, not all of the children are here tonight, but we want to call out their names so they can be recognized. Now, for those that are here, President Bergeron has a certificate for you, and we're going to ask that you line up right here in the front of the council by the desk so that we can take a picture afterwards. Starting first with David Solis. Is David here? Benton Walker. Isabella Allen. Mallory Hawthorne. Congratulations, Mallory. Go to the man that's holding the papers. And if you just come stand right across the front. Julia Toops. Carmen Robichaud. Caleb Lerat. Chloe, I'm not sure that is Dighton. Okay. She writes really well, but her D doesn't look like a D. So, Grant Roger. Congratulations, Grant. Preston LeBlanc. Carter Neal. Kevin Kramer. Luke Landry. Ava Para. Congratulations, Ava. Sophie Fernandez. Congratulations, Sophie. Tanner Domingue. Kinsley St. Pierre. Emmeline Lecomte. Laney Price. Carson Price. And Ava Watson. Don't mind then. Y'all want to come toward the center? Let's give these young ones a hand for the work that they've done.
If I could say one more thing, I do want to give a special recognition to Ava Para. She did compete on the regional level and won third place overall at regionals in Perry, Georgia, of all the states that were there. So I just wanted to highlight that.
And I just want to say to the parents, congratulations. What you're doing with your children is honorable. And I know it takes a lot of effort, a lot of time on your part to do this. And even though sometimes your children don't show that appreciation, I know that they love you for it. So thank you again to the parents. Congratulations to all the winners. Did y'all give Cherie the?
Yes, I have them.
You have them? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Item D is a proclamation recognizing Terrebonne Parish employees for their dedication and service during Hurricane Francine. And I'll pass this over to President Bergeron.
All right, thank you. So yeah, we just had Hurricane Francine. I really feel like we dodged a bullet, but I know that some people did have damage, and we're still going through our damage assessments. We've been making announcements on SBA and other FEMA funding assisted centers that we have open. But I really just got to commend our team because just in awe of really what everybody did, stepped up to the plate, performed their jobs flawlessly, like just truly amazing. I'm honored to be a part of such an amazing team, so I thought it was important for us to do this proclamation. This is an employee appreciation proclamation. Whereas on Monday, September 9th, 2024, the Terrebonne Parish Office of Emergency Preparedness formally announced that a storm was brewing in the Gulf with the anticipation of hurricane-force winds and flash flooding as it quickly approached landfall with Terrebonne Parish in the direct path. And whereas employees within all departments of Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government immediately activated their emergency preparedness plans and got to work to ensure that residents and businesses would be prepared, informed, have access to resources, and ultimately would remain safe throughout the duration of the weather event. And whereas Tropical Storm Francine became Hurricane Francine by Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, and TPCG personnel, first responders, and contracting partners are ready to act in order to keep residents out of harm's way with evacuations, shelters, and curfews put into place. And whereas employees activated their own personal emergency plans by securing family and friends while remaining on call and on site at the Emergency Operations Center to be available to the general public, the media, and any special needs groups that would need information and assistance before, during, and after the storm. And whereas employees should be commended for their team efforts, not only for doing an outstanding job in key roles that they played during the state of emergency, but also for the compassion and commitment that was displayed with every new communication, supply distribution, and time they dedicated to making sure every resident and business need was accounted for. And whereas Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government is only as effective as the employees that choose a career in public service day in and day out, no matter the situation or circumstance, to be there for general public. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Terrebonne Parish Council on behalf of the Parish President, Jason W. Bergeron, and entire Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, that all Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government employees be commended and appreciated for their acts of service. Signed by myself and Councilman Chairperson John Amity. And so we're not necessarily giving this to anybody in particular tonight. We're going to hang this for everybody to see. I think we might have had some employees that show up tonight. So if you are a parish employee and you're here, could you please stand? Y'all too. And I'll go around as I'm looking at people. So Mr. Joe Harris with Juvenile, Clay Knockan with Solid Waste. Who am I missing? Mark Black with CCM. We got Ryan Page and with HR Risk Management. Corey Henry, Fire Department. I don't know all everybody's names. Travis Terrio with HPD. Vicky, Julie, Leilani, Neil. I go on and on. Unfortunately, it's hard to remember everybody's names, but just want to commend them and again, just truly amazing to see the countless hours that our employees worked. And what's that? Sorry. Yes. I want to remember everybody, and I will forget names. So, yes, feel free to chime in for anybody I left out. We have 850 employees, and I could list every one of them. Maybe still leave somebody out, along with our contractors, and again the sheriff's office. Just working with all the fire departments. I mean, you just go down the line, council on aging. You just go all the different entities that came together. And again, just going back to the flawless communication and rapport and hard work that everybody put out. So if I didn't cover anybody, please list them, and thank you.
All right, I got a few lights, so we're going to start with Ms. Chauvin.
Yes, I'd like to thank also David Rome for the night before the hurricane, getting out, having employees get out and on Prospect Street and help me to uncover some drains that were going to hold some serious water there due to the litter that was there. None other than that part of it. Also, Miss Tammy, Miss Alicia, Miss Charlie, and all of them were great assets to have too, for any questions that we had and the reports that we were given in for, lines down and different things. So I definitely appreciate our council staff. I appreciate all the employees because they gave us so much communication that we were able to get out to our districts. And so I definitely appreciate that because that's kind of what I do in the fishing industry is get a lot of communication out. So that was right up my alley and them helping me, providing me with the things that I needed. So again, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Councilman Harding.
Yes, I made a post today, and I thank you, Parish President, for acknowledging all the employees, everyone that was part of the preparation on a daily basis, keeping us informed. But I must say that the citizens of Terrebonne Parish, those folk that did not work, those volunteers with those faith-based organizations and those civic organizations, they actually came together with what we were doing under the circumstances. And I think everyone left with an attitude of gratitude. So I think as a whole, Terrebonne Parish has come together and shown the love one for another and the care for another person's life and property. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Mr. Legrat.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to thank our council members for being good partners with us before, during, and after the storm, assessing damage, getting us reports, let us know what's going on. So we appreciate y'all hard work and helping us do what we can for our citizens. And like Jason said, we're just as good as our team, and our job as administration is to facilitate and ensure effective progress, and I think that's what we did. I'm very proud of all our directors and all our employees, and locally, having power back up within 48 hours, being on top of debris cleanup, being on top of waterway cleanup. Is it perfect? No, but I think we've learned our lessons from Ida, and these guys are raring to go. And I'm very proud of this team. Now I'd like to call up Julie Onimo for about a 10-minute speech. That's just a joke. She's very bashful. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Learett. Mr. Councilman Babin.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, every storm is unique unto itself, and this one was no different than every other one that came in. They had its little quirks with it. But, you know, the whole, and going along with what Kim said and Corley, the community was affected. So it takes a community to put it back together. Government can't do it on its own. It takes the faith-based people. It takes the volunteers. It takes all of that to get us back whole again. And, you know, and debris pickup, you mentioned that. There's always going to be a starting point. There's going to be an ending point. So, you know, we just ask that everybody has patience out there. We have good people working in this government, and it's going to be taken care of, and we're going to be back to normal again pretty soon. So, again, thank everybody for what they did.
Thank you, Mr. Babin. President Bergeron.
And I just want to follow up as great a job as everybody did. We're always looking for ways to improve, and so we're going to have an after-action meeting and talk about things that we could do better next time and continue to make those improvements and continue to do our drills and make sure that we're prepared for the next one. So if you have anything, you know, if you guys have anything you want to share, hadn't shared yet, just make sure we're aware of it, and we'll make sure we get all that information to the right channels and work on doing things better, even better next time. So thank you all again, and thank to everybody.
Before I go to the next person, I was going to ask that question. What I'd like council members to do is if you have comments, requests, whatever that you want to submit to this after-action meeting, let's just send them to the clerk and let the clerk compile them and forward them on to administration, if we can do that. Thank you, Ms. Tammy. Councilman Hamner.
Yeah, I just want to concur with everybody else on what a tremendous team that Terrebonne Parish had over at OEC or OEP. It was impressive, and this was my first rodeo as a public official, even though I've been through hurricanes ever since Camille and Betsy, and it's very comforting, gratifying to know that we're in good hands. There's often, people think about the loss to human life. I just want to personally thank Valerie over at the Dog Pound for taking care of 62 dogs and finding places for the animals there that she didn't have room for during the storm. Sucker, S-U-C-C-E-R, written across my forehead. I went over there and offered to help, and I am now the proud owner of a 60-pound mutt that is huge, and she gets along great with my little 6-pound multi-poo. It's a good thing because she could swallow her up. But I also want to recognize, and I hope he doesn't mind, somebody that helped out with such grace, style, and dignity, in spite of the troubles that he went through during this ordeal. And, Cohen Guidry over there with the TETA board, you carried on in spite of everything that you were going through at that time and still are. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my own heart.
Thank you, Mr. Hamner. Mr. Champagne.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, it was also my first time as a public official and got to see the things behind the scenes that happen during, a crisis, emergency situation. And, it was a definite learning experience. And, as President Bergeron said, I have observations, and I know we can always do better. But I was really impressed with the team, everyone coming together and all the things that happen and all the moving parts that the public doesn't see that's happening behind the scenes. And I appreciate all the hard work that our parish employees and staff and council did behind the scenes. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Champagne. And I just want to let the public consider this thought. We often think about the police officers and the firemen, the EMS workers that are always present. They're running into the danger. But I also want to point out that these parish employees left their own homes when their own homes needed attention as well. So that speaks volumes to me, the fact that they were able to go out there and keep things running. We've had a couple homes that took a little bit of water, but for the most part, when you get 12 inches of rain, we can't handle that in a short period of time. So Thibodeau caught that, and I know one home in my district that took a little bit of water. But nevertheless, not many others did, if there were many others, because of the dedication of the Terrebonne Parish employees being out there doing what they got to do, from the directors all the way down to the pump operators to everybody in between. I just want to thank them for that effort, because you kind of, to the policemen, to the firemen, no disrespect, but you kind of expect that out of you guys. You kind of signed up for it, just like we signed up for different things. But these other guys, they went out there and joined forces. I want to thank everybody for being able to get the roads cleared. I know after Ida, at midnight, I was finding my way from Highway 90 to Berg with supplies, dodging trees, power lines, all the way down. This time, they were on it. They were in my neighborhood that night, clearing the streets. So I know they were there. So I want to thank everybody for that. Mr. Lerat?
While we're thanking everybody, I want to thank our citizens. Interesting fact about this storm is that we had over 8,000 sandbags filled that got picked up. That's more than double than we've ever done, including Ida. Right, which tells me is that people are taking more accountability and taking storms seriously. We can't control storms, but we can control how they affect us and how we respond. And I feel like our citizens did a great job in preparation and helped us help them. So just want to thank our citizens for that.
President Bergeron?
I'm going to throw one more thing. Speaking of sandbags, so moving forward, we're going to have 2 permanent sandbag locations, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at the Air Base softball complex and at the Civic Center. So if anybody ever needs sandbags at any time, they'll be available from here on out. So,
thank you, sir. No, I don't want to do that, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. Item 2, public wishing to address the council. Item A, in accordance with Section 2-07E of the Terrebonne Parish Home Rule Charter, the public will be heard and can speak for 3 minutes on any matter related to parish government without discussion or questions and answers on non-agenda items. We have none. Thank you, guys. 6:30, public hearings relative to item A. An ordinance to authorize the parish president to revise and execute on behalf of Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government a lease of commercial space between TPCG and Hub International Midwest Limited to lease space in the TPCG-owned building at 7910 Main Street, Houma, Louisiana, 70360. First call public. Second call public. Third and final call public. We have a motion to close by Ms. Chauvin, seconded by Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. A motion to adopt Ms. Chauvin, seconded Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion is adopted. Ordinance is adopted. Item B, an ordinance to amend the 2024 adopted operating budget and 5-year capital outlay budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items and to provide for related matters. Item 1, Houma Police Department, $5,093. Item 2, Government Tower Repairs, $95,000. Item 3, Municipal Auditorium, $185,100. Item 4, Non-District Recreation Fund, $100,000. Item 5, Houma Downtown Development, $3,000. First call public. Second call public. Third and final call public. A motion to close by Ms. Chauvin. Second by Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. We have motion to adopt by Mr. Pledger. Second by Ms. Chauvin. Members, vote your machine. Nine yeas, 0 nays. The ordinance is adopted. Apologize for the public that you can't see the screen. We have an issue going on with the equipment that we're getting taken care of. Normally, you can see that on the screen behind me. Item C, an ordinance to restructure Chapter 12 of the Terrebonne Parish Code and enact regulations for the construction of borrow pits, ponds, and dirt mounds, and to provide for related matters. I do have a speaker here, Ms. April Traha. If you'd please come to the mic, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, April Traha with the Duval Law Firm, 101 Wilson Avenue, Houma, Louisiana, 70364. I'm here on behalf of my client, Harry Bird Corporation, to represent their interest. We were present at the March 27th meeting, at which time the first, at least in my experience, version of the ordinance was proposed, and I want to thank you all because there's been obvious revisions that it's in a much better position, to be up for an adoption. There are some things that my client would like to address. I was not given notice of this being on the agenda for tonight until 3 o'clock this afternoon, due in part, to Hurricane Francine. Most of us were out of the office for at least a week. My client started, I'm not signed up to receive these agenda items. I made known at the prior meeting, there were 3 public comments at that meeting, one of which was my client. We partner with the levee district to provide materials to build the levees, so that's their interest. Obviously, the levee district, Reggie Dupre, has now retired, the director. He was here on behalf of the levee district, and then there was one landowner that I believe has burrow pits that was too close to his home, that he was very uncomfortable with having that too close to his home, so he was in support of the ordinance. So those were the interests that were here back in March. I reached out to several people, and they knew that my client wanted to make comment on it, and I think I had asked you guys to do your research and to talk with different bodies and different people in the communities, contractors, and you did speak to the levee district, and you did get feedback from the levee district. I believe that the levee district was able to give feedback on September 3rd to get on the agenda for September 5th. They unfortunately didn't share that with me, so I was unable to review that version. I was from 3 o'clock till tonight able to review it, and I am pleased with a lot of it, but I can't adequately provide guidance to my client. And I have spoken to the parish attorney on some of the provisions, and she's assured me. I do believe upon further review and discussion that my client would be more comfortable not objecting or requesting that this be prolonged. We obviously are in support of the safety of the community. We want to have reasonable laws. We obviously don't want the government involved in our lives more than necessary. At least me personally. So I would respectfully request that you table this for the next meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Traha. I make a call for public. First call public comment. Yes, sir. If you please come to the mic and state your name and address for the record.
Damon Terrio, 123 West Ellendale Estates. Thanks, April. You were kind of thrown in this at the last minute as far as Mr. Harry Berg was my great-grandpa. And that has been in our family over a century. And, my knowledge growing up on the property and everything else, we have probably more burrow pits than anybody in the parish. And, almost 1,000 acres was seized from us through eminent domain to help the public, protect the public. with the levies. So some of these things stated in here, they have been amended, but a lot of it comes at the cost of the pit operator. Like they're requesting signs, and we're all for safety and everything, but there are trespassing laws on the books through the state. We've dealt with that year after year, decade after decade. A person's supposed to know where they're at all times. To put up, it's an expense to put up pits and everything else. There are rules in place which are really good as far as the public safety with transportation and the trucks going up and down the road, keeping the roads clean. So we would like a continuance, as April said, to go over the legalities of it all. But most of it's already in place. So I don't know where this is coming from, but I do know in the recent, in recent times, anybody can go get an excavator and dig a hole. And all the money everybody spent on levees and, some people are careless. And so I understand they should have some rules regarding, safeguarding what they've built, Sorry, I don't public speak too much.
All right. You're doing good.
And so I just wanted to, be here just to, voice my opinion and what I've seen over the years happen. For instance, I live off of Savannah Road. 50 feet off the road, somebody dug a little pond. I don't know if it's private property or whatever, but there's nothing around it, no fence, nothing. But look at all the other old pits in the parish, like say off of Highway 311 in front of K&B. That thing's been there forever. It's gated, but there's no signs, Sugarwood, the big old lake they have right there, that's a borough pit. There's no signs, so, and, I hope, kids or something don't get hurt or drown, but that's, kind of part of life and parents' responsibilities. But when you have the size properties that we have, our total acreage is almost 2% of this entire parish. Well, that can be quite an expense to force, signs, expensive signs on all of this stuff when really it's in unpopulated areas. And they're not supposed to be on the property anyway. So that's my spill. So hopefully it'll get continued and we can get a safe resolve to, all the issues.
All right. Thank you for coming and sharing tonight. Second call, public. Third and final call, public.
No. I think what we have here is a very good document. We've been working on this for a long time. There are a few things that need to be tweaked. With that being said, and the people that came up here tonight, I'd like to make a motion to continue the public hearing until October 16th, which will be our next council meeting.
So I have a motion by Mr. Babin to continue the public hearing until our next meeting, seconded by Mr. Hamner. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. No other action needs to be done. So for those that came to speak, information will be going out to you. The reason why we're really continuing the public hearing is because with the storm, people weren't given adequate time, and we want to go back and do that for review. Mr. Harding?
Yes, in doing so, it seems like this is ongoing, and I hope that the representative that represent one side and the gentleman that has the property, I would hope that this can be resolved. It seems like he's in some agreement with that, but most importantly, we have to worry about the citizens of Terrebonne Parish. So therefore, whatever they do and what we do up here. So just keep us informed of what's going on. Hopefully, we won't get caught at the last minute to make a decision up here And, you know, we want to make the right decision up here. So hopefully y'all can keep us in the loop with pertinent information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. All right, item D, an ordinance to amend sections 8-2 and 8-3 in Article 1 of Chapter 8 of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances, Fire Protection and Prevention, to adopt the state's definition of public display, to remedy the ambiguous language regarding the public display of fireworks within the city limits of Houma, to allow for such an exception in conjunction with holidays, festivals, and fundraisers, to add a requirement that all tent stands, fixtures, goods, and equipment be removed within 10 days of the end of the fireworks sale period, and to adopt Section 8-4 in Article 1 of Chapter 8 of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances, creation of fireworks ban area by petition, and to provide for matters relative thereto. First call, public. Second call, public. Third and final call, public. We have a motion to close by Mr. Harding, second by Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. Nine yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Harding, second, Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item E, an ordinance to amend Chapter 18 of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances to establish a three-way stop at the intersection of Houston Avenue and Texas Avenue to authorize the installation of the appropriate signs. First call, public. Second call, public. Third and final call, public. Motion to close by Mr. Babin, second by Ms. Chauvin. Members, vote your machines. 7 yeas, 3 absent. 2 absent. No, we're good.
Okay. It passed.
Yes.
You snooze, you lose. Huh?
Motion to adopt.
Yeah.
Second.
Mr. Babin makes a motion to adopt, seconded by Mr. Champagne. I don't know, they're telling me something, I'm just following along.
We voted on closing or adopt, or both?
Did we vote on closing, Tim? Did we vote on adoption?
We voted
Right now?
Right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right.
Sometimes I'm reading ahead to see what we gotta do, so I'm not following y'all.
Well, with 10 members up here.
We're 10 members, that's right. All right, so 8 days, 1 absent. The ordinance is adopted. Item F, an ordinance to amend Section 13-63 qualifications for drivers, Section 13-65 standards for ambulance equipment, Section 13-70 transportation of emergency patients, and Section 13-90 ambulance inspections in Article 4 of Chapter 13 of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances, and to provide for other matters relative thereto. First call, public. Second call, public. Third and final call, public. We have a motion to close by Ms. Chauvin, seconded by Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 8 yeas. Motion to adopt, Ms. Chauvin, seconded Mr. Champagne. Members, vote your machines. I'm gonna have to split y'all up. Y'all sound too much alike. 9 yeas, 0 nays. The ordinance is adopted. Item G, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Terrebonne Parish so as to rezone from R1 single-family residential to R3 multifamily residential, lots 21 and 22, square 4, Barreltown subdivision, 2606 and 2608 Larry Street, Houma, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Kirby Bonvillain applicant. First call, public. Second call, public. Third and final call, public.
Motion to close.
Motion to close, Mr. Pleasure. Second, Mr. Babin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Pleasure. Second, Mr. Babin. Members vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. The ordinance is adopted. Item H, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the Parish of Terrebonne so as to rezone from R1 single-family residential to R2 two-family residential, lots 1-27, Block 1, lots 1 through 9, Block 2, lots 1 through 39, Block 3, lots 1 through 19, Block 4, Parkwood Place subdivision, Houma, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Jim Builders LLC is the applicant. First call public. Second call public. Third and final call public. Motion to close, Mr. Pleasure. Second, Ms. Chauvin. Members vote your machines. Nine yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Pleasure. Second by Ms. Chauvin. Members vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is adopted. Item I, an ordinance to amend sections 22-26, 22-28, 22-226, 22-228, 22-229, and 22-230, and enact 22-225 of Chapter 12, Article 9 of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinance to remedy awkward phasing in Section 22-226, to move penalties from Section 22-228B to Section 22-225 and apply them to the entire Article 9, and to add certain parish-owned launches and docks to the list of no launching and no mooring sites. That was a mouthful.
Mr. Chairman, just for a point, you'd say that's actually Chapter 12 is Chapter 22, just for the record.
Yeah, maybe I need Kim's cheaters.
Well, John, there you go.
I actually have contacts. First call public. Second call public. Third and final call public. Motion to close, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Harding. Members vote your machines. That needed to happen when that light was smoking. Everybody voted? Kim, you voted? 9 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to adopt, Mr. Babin. Second, Mr. Harding. Members vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays. The ordinance is adopted. Committee reports. Community Development and Planning Committee, Ms. Chauvin.
I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Community Development and Planning Committee held on September 23rd, 2024, and I have no public hearings.
We have a motion by Ms. Chauvin, seconded by Mr. Hamner. Members vote your machines. Eight yeas, 1 absent. Clyde, you're absent, sir.
No, can't be making the motion and be absent.
All right, so, motion passes. Item B, Budget and Finance Committee, Mr. Pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I make a motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Budget and Finance Committee held on September 23rd, 2024, and I have 1 public hearing. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2024 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items and to provide for related matters. Item number 1, dedicated emergency fund, $3,639,860. Item number 2, dedicated emergency fund, $13,546,442. Item number 3, dedicated emergency fund, $755,000. Item number 4, animal shelter, $7,919. Item number 5, animal shelter, $1,650. Item number 6, utilities, $543,390. Item number 7, Road Lighting District Number 1, $40,000, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, October 16th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m.
We have a motion by Mr. Pledger, second by Ms. Chauvin. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item C, Policy, Procedure, and Legal Committee. Mr. Hamner, you're now present.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Turn on your mic, sir. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And even though I appear to be absent, I do make the motion that the council accept and ratify the minutes of the Policy, Procedure, and Legal Committee held on September 23rd, 2024, and I have no public hearings. Thank you.
We have a motion by Mr. Hamner, second by Mr.
Babin.
Babin?
Yeah.
Members, vote your machines.
Well, with the glasses, yeah.
Now, Mr. Pledger is absent. 8 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 4, streetlights. As per Mr. Babin, second Mr. Pledger. Members, vote your machines. 9 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries. Item 5, appointments to various boards, committees, and commissions. A, Veterans Memorial District Board, 2 expiring terms on 9/17/24, 1 representing the Military Museum and 1 representing the Legislative Delegation South, and 1 vacancy due to resignation representing the Parish President south of the Intracoastal. Mr. George S. Berg, representing the Regional Military Museum Foundation, expresses his interest in being reappointed. Mr. Will Terrio, representing the Legislative Delegation South, expresses his interest in being reappointed. Mr.
George Berg, make a motion to appoint Mr. George Berg and hold the other over for 2 weeks.
So we have a motion to appoint Mr. Berg and hold the others for 2 weeks.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Hamner. Members, vote your machines. Eight yeas, 1 abstention. Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Berg, on your reappointment. Item 6, vacancies to various boards, committees, and commissions. A, Recreation District Number 2-3 Board, 1 expired term. Coteau Fire Protection District Board, 1 expired term. Children and Youth Services Board, 3 expired terms, each representing one of the following: Bayou Area Children Foundation, Gulf Coast Teaching and Family Services, Houma Police Department. Downtown Development Corporation, 3 expired terms, each representing the following entities: 1 representing the Parish Council, 1 representing the Historical Society, and 1 representing Downtown Merchants. Municipal Civil Service Board, 1 expired term representing the council and 1 vacancy due to resignation representing the council, nominated by Nicholls State University. South Central Human Services Authority, 2 expired terms. Terrebonne Parish Tree Board, 1 expired term and 1 vacancy due to resignation. Veterans Memorial District Board, 1 vacancy due to resignation representing the parish president south of the Intracoastal. TITA, 3 expiring terms on 9/9/24, each representing one of the following: Chamber of Commerce, Terrebonne Parish Council, and the parish president. Board of Adjustments, 1 expired term. Airport Commission, 1 expiring term on 10/10/24. Coastal Zone Management and Restoration, 3 expiring terms on 10/31/24, 1 representing the Marine Navigation, 1 representing All Industry, and 1 representing flood concerns appointed by the parish president. Houma Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, 2 expiring terms on 12/31/24, 1 representing the Regional Military Museum, and 1 representing a civic nonprofit, and 1 vacancy due to a resignation representing a civic nonprofit organization. Library Board of Control, 3 expiring terms on 11/14/2024. Announcements, Mr. Parish President.
Yes, so I know we have, and I'm probably gonna miss a few, but I know there's a brunch under the Oaks, a cook-off at St. Matthew's School at 10 a.m., and then there's a steak dinner at the Montague Gym for the St. Charles Catholic Church in Pointe-à-Cher, Saturday at 6 p.m. I think that's all I have for now.
Thank you, sir. Council members, Ms. Chauvin.
Yeah, I just want to wish my husband a happy anniversary, 38 years this coming Friday. I've had to put up with him for that long. Just joking. Also, I would ask that people really pray for those people in Florida that hurricane is barreling towards them. It looks to be a really bad one like we've experienced so far. So my heart really goes out to those people, and they're going to be in a lot of need too. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Mr. Hamner.
Yeah, I just want to take the opportunity to invite every member of the council and our administrative staff to the Louisiana Retired Teachers Association meeting and conference that's going to be held at the Marriott October 27th and 28th. Through the generosity of a lot of our local businesses and restaurants and grant from the Visitors Bureau and the library, offering their venue as for off hotel events, and we're going to have a really great influx of retired people from across the state come to Terrebonne Parish. It looks like it may be one of the biggest retired teacher conventions ever held, and it's also the first time ever to have it here in Terrebonne Parish. It is open to the public, so if any of you guys are free any of those days, you do have to register. You go to lrta.net, and you can register for the entire conference and attend any of the events that you want to attend. There's no charge except for one, a banquet on Tuesday night. We're promoting our local museums, the library. I want to thank the, well, they left, but oh no, there they are back there. Miss Jonelle and Santoy and Riley Groback there are going to give tours of the Military Museum. Southdown Plantation's going to give tours all on that Monday. Let's see, Margie Scobie's going to be bringing her Finding Our Roots African American Mobile Museum. Today I met with the hospital and Terrebonne General Health Systems is even going to send their mobile health clinic over there to do free health screenings and possibly some flu shots. So there's a lot going on. Oh, and we're promoting our local shrimping industry thanks to Chauvin Shrimp Factory down in 4 Point, Dulac. And we got a good deal on shrimp for Wednesday for a post-conference shrimp boil. And anyway, so if you got some time, pass on by, and but you do have to register so that we have the right number of counts.
Thank you, Mr. Hamner. Mr. Bergeron?
I did leave out a couple of events, and I can't believe I did this, but on the 5th, so I know we have a couple weeks before our next council meeting, on October 5th, the Market at the Marina at 8 a.m. at the downtown Houma Marina. And then at 10 a.m., the Momo Walker downtown put on by the Hatch Grant, like the Red Dress Run with moo-moos. So get your Momo dresses out, come on out with pawpaws and everything. James Academy Cook-Off at 11 a.m. on Venture Boulevard on the 5th. And then on the 12th, we have the Bayou du Large, I'll say the 12th, I think 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. The Bayou du Large Fair. And Bayou du Large is something that I know is a big event for us. And then the Bayou Arts Festival is downtown starting at 9 a.m. Till about noon, I'm showing here, but I know it goes later than that. So a bunch of things to do the next few weekends, and the weather's going to be changing, allowing us to get out and about. And we appreciate all the hard work, all our nonprofits, and everybody that does things to help our community. So thank everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Bergeron. Motion adjourned, Ms. Chauvin. Second, Mr. Harding. Members, vote your machines.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.